A lot of martial arts school owners will say things like this: I need more students, I need more leads, I need more enrollments. But here's the truth. Most school owners don't actually know the problem they have because they don't know their numbers. And if you don't know your numbers, you can't diagnose your business. You're just guessing or going off feeling. I feel like I need this. I feel like I'm doing good, but you don't know. And listen, one number by itself doesn't really tell you the whole picture. You need to combine numbers together in order to get a clear picture of where your business is at and where you need to go. For example, a school owner might say, man, I'm only enrolling 5 students a month. I need more students. And while maybe that's true, maybe you do need more students, number alone doesn't really tell you anything. The first question that needs to be asked is, how many leads are you getting? So let's say you're getting 100 leads a month. Okay, great. Now, how many of those are converting into trials? 80? Wow, that's fantastic. That means your lead conversion is really strong. So now we go to the next number. How many of those trials are converting into new students? 5? Well, there's your problem. The issue isn't lead generation. The issue isn't getting people through the door. The issue is your trial process, the conversion from trial to new enrollment. Maybe it's your trial class, maybe it's your communication, your delivery, your closing. Something is broken here. Now, let's flip it around. Another school owner says, I'm only enrolling 5 students a month. Okay, same result, same final number. But this time, how many leads are you getting? 20? Well, how many convert to trials? 10? So only 50% of your leads are coming into the building. Then out of those 10, 5 enroll. Well, now we see a completely different picture. Your trial to enrollment conversion is actually pretty good. Your problem is lead generation and follow-up. See the difference? Same final number, same 5 enrollments, completely different problem. This is why statistics matter. Statistics expose weakness and they tell a story. They point out where your leaks are and what you need to fix. Because listen, if you don't know where your problem is, you'll spend the wrong time fixing the wrong problem or spend money on marketing that's broken. And this is why I'm obsessed with tracking statistics. At my school, Hero Martial Arts Academy, we track numbers daily, on a daily basis. Not monthly, not when I remember to do it, every day. So today, I'm gonna share with you guys exactly how we track our stats. I'm gonna show you our spreadsheet and show you how powerful it is. And hopefully you'll see and start to understand that you don't know the numbers like you think you do. And if you do, congratulations, you can skip this video. Let's get started. All right, guys, here we are at our stat sheet. This is a template that I use to show people how exactly we keep track of our stats. So at the bottom here, you'll see different tabs. Year to date, then you have different months down here for the different months of the year. This is the master spreadsheet. So this is where everything is kept in regards to every month: January, February, March, April, May. I'm shooting this on May 8th, so that's as far as we've gotten so far. And underneath each month, you will see income accounts that we need to keep track of. So you need to be tracking how much money you're getting from introductory and trial courses. Underneath that, auto tuition collection, down payments, pay in fulls, retail sales, event sales, testing fees, and if there's any miscellaneous. And these numbers go here. Now, these numbers are auto-populated. So if you happen to use this spreadsheet, you don't touch this. These are, see here, well, you can't see, but these are calculations, formulas, basically is what I'm saying, right? That communicate with the different months. So, but I just want to give you guys an overview here. Underneath this, you'll see your monthly goal. All right, so in this example, January, this is one of our locations. Our goal that month was $34,670. And this is what we actually did. $44,206. It's just an example. And so it's in blue because we did better than expected. In this month, we did better actually. So let me put that in blue. We actually did hit, 39 and 38. I'm sorry, I had it right the first time. But this is how I would change it. So anything in red, we went under our goal. Anything in blue, we went over. But you need to have a goal. If you don't have a goal, what are you shooting for? What's the purpose? What are you doing? So underneath that, we'll have payroll expenses. And then there's a formula to calculate how much of your payroll percentage is going out compared to how much income you're bringing in. The goal is to always have somewhere at 28% or lower. And if you need more information on that, go back and check one of my other videos on payroll. And then we have fixed expenses. Fixed expenses would include everything from utilities to rent to insurance and so on. Those are the expenses that really don't move much month to month. They're fixed expenses. Underneath that, you can put your cost per lead, cost per student. And then we have other important statistics on this page. These are your numbers. These aren't your income totals. These are other numbers. So we have leads. How many leads do you get? We just went through this example. How many trial students? How many total students do you have? That's every student, including non-paying, your family members, instructors, people who are on some sort of family deal, getting free classes. And not necessarily, that's just everyone. They're not even all active. Maybe some of them haven't come to class in months. Well, underneath that, you have active students. These are the students who are coming to class, who are actually coming to class every single week. We have new students. So now we get that new student conversion. We can get numbers from that, upgrades, renewals, dropouts, and then we have our retention rate. So under January, we can see in this month, we had 125 leads. 82 of them converted into trials, and 23 of those trials are converted into new students. We were able to upgrade 5 students, renew 1, and we had 11 dropouts. And because we had 11 dropouts, there's a formula here that gives us our retention rate at the end of the month, which is how many dropouts compared to how many active students. Boom, that was a 4% retention rate or dropout rate. We want to keep that dropout rate at 4% or lower, under 4%, which is why it's in red. If you look here in March, it's in blue because it was 1.5. Same thing for 1.5 here in April. So the red lets us know when we're not doing as well, and the blue lets us know when we hit our goal or broke records. Underneath this, you have your student value. Let's just look at this one here, student value for your active number of students. What you're doing here is you're taking your income and dividing it by your active students. And that's a formula where we get a number. For January, that number for us was a 181 at this particular location. Anything over 180, I would say is like a B. We're shooting for a 200 and over, and that would be an A. Anything over 220 would be an A+. So you could see here in April, we did 300 was because we had our legacy programs. So that's how you read this as you're going through it. Also down here at the bottom, we have our first quarter. There's a number. That's how much money we made that quarter. So it's taken all 3 of these months, January, February, March, adds them up, and there is that number. Our goal was 111. Where does this number come from? It comes from these 3 numbers, which are our goals, adds them up. So we exceeded our goal. We surpassed our goal. Congratulations, that's in blue. But now underneath that, you can see the other months, other quarters for different years and how we did. So last year we did 97, the year before that 100, the year before that 66. So we broke records. This quarter, 2026, we broke record. And that's how we would read this. As we scroll to the other side, you'll see year-to-date totals. So this is more important as you get to the end of the year. You'll see how much money you brought in from each individual income account, and you can compare it to the totals from the previous year. Over here in this tab, you'll see year-to-date average. This averages out year-to-date, and these formulas can be adjusted based on what month you're in. But you can kind of get a good idea of what we're doing here. And then you have your percentage, which is also another number you want to track. Like for instance, auto tuition, we're at 52% of our overall income comes from auto tuition. And that's perfect. That's right where we want to be, 50%. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys the first page here, this year-to-date page. Now, here's the second part. Let's take a look at January. Where do these numbers come from? Are you ready? I'm going to click on January here, and that's going to take us to our January page. All right, at a glance here, this can be overwhelming, but let me explain it. So here we have the entire month of January. So we have the 1st all the way through the 31st. We have each day of the week, and we have our different categories: paid in full, down payment, auto tuition, events, testing, intros and trials, retail, and then a total. So the first day of the month, what did we do? We did $1,221.14 in auto tuition. No other sales were made that day. That number got recorded that day. The next day, we had did $131.90. The next day, here we go, and so on and so on. Every day, these numbers get recorded. At the bottom of this page, the totals are calculated here at the bottom. These numbers right here are then automatically, so you can see $23,660.76 for auto tuition. Well, that automatically goes here. See? $23,660. So you don't type the numbers in here, you type them in this category. And if you just keep track of every day, everything else will track itself. Okay? So pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. You just have to do the work and be consistent with knowing your numbers and tracking them. I'm going to scroll past this in the middle and I'm going to go to this one. This is the lead and phone call, appointments, signups, and so forth. This is where you would track all of those numbers. So, for instance, we go over here, renewals. We had one renewal. Well, if we go to year to date, January, how many renewals? One. Again, the numbers from this sheet transfer to this sheet automatically. So as long as you're keeping up with your day-to-day numbers, how many leads, how many phone calls, appointments, and so on, you'll be good. At the very bottom, this is where you have to manually put in that number, which is your active student count. You'll have to do that manually, and then your, this is your total student count. Active student count is underneath that. But those numbers transfer to the year to date as well. So super helpful, super beneficial. Over here, you have the goal. Now, if you want to use this or a version of this, this is where it can help you create your goal for the month. You create a goal for everything: auto tuition, new students, paid in fulls, trials, retail, so on and so forth. What is your goal based on how many students you have, based on past performance? And then that goal gets entered here, and we'll show you how far away or how much over you went for the grand total. Did you reach your goal or not? Can't talk today. But that goal, this number, is automatically transferred here. So the work really is done on this sheet. This is where all the work is done. If you do your job here, everything gets transferred. Some people will say, well, what is this? This is our missing in action list. These are how many students are not coming to class. They've missed class. So we have a total of 22 for the end of the month. That number gets subtracted from our grand total, and that's how we get our 243. And these numbers, again, transfer to the year to date. See, 265, 243. So I scroll back to the top. The last thing I want to show you on this page, I think, is very important. It's our monthly. What it does is it compares every January to every other January from every other year. So here's our current January. This is what we did compared to 2025. So if we just look at, for instance, auto tuition. When we started that first year, we were only open a couple months. So we did 4,000. The next year, 17. The next year, 21. This year, 23. So we are growing. And that's why it went from blue to blue to blue. And then anything in bold print, I bold it because that's a record. So we broke records this month. We broke records in tuition, events, testing. It just gives you a good idea. Are you growing? Are you losing money? Are you going on a downward spiral, or are you building? And also, it's going to help you understand what a typical January looks like. How many leads do we typically get? Typically, it looks like 61, 51, 30. We dropped 125. What did we do to get 125? Right? We need to. Well, let's do that again next year. Looks like we had a typical low amount of trial students, but we did 82. I can tell you for a fact it's because we did a lot of school talks this year, and that's why we grew our numbers so much. But anyway, it'll give you a good idea because every month is different. So let's go, for instance, I'm gonna click on April, and let's look at the difference for April, right? So now we look at the difference for April and we see, oh man, 43, 53, went down, 71. Well, why did we do 71? Well, we didn't have a lot of leads. I mean, we didn't have, our trial conversion from leads horrible, new students was horrible. We did 10 upgrades. How did we get $71,000? Well, it's because of our legacy program. We sold a bunch of legacy. And if you don't know what that is, that's something we do with Maya. But all in all, guys, this is how we track our stats. And I just wanted to show you guys, this is what we do. This is how we know our numbers. I'm not a numbers guy. Like, I'm not someone who can remember numbers off the top of my head. And so it's super helpful for me to have this. And it's something I check every single day. Yeah, so listen, if you're serious about growing your martial arts school, you gotta stop guessing. You gotta start tracking your numbers. Don't just track them, know them, study them, update them daily. Check that temperature every single day. Think about it like this. If you're in a match, you're in a sparring match, it's the last 30 seconds and you're down by 2 points and you know a head kick will get you 2 points, or you get a body kick that'll get you 1. And you wanna win this match and you have 30 seconds, what are you gonna do? You're gonna create a strategy in order to win. You have to attack, you have to press. Are you going for the head kick or are you going for the body kicks? Are you doing both? What's your strategy? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your opponent's strengths and weaknesses, right? But now, opposite, let's think about this. Let's say you're in the lead and there's 10 seconds left and you're ahead by 1 point. 1 point, you're ahead, you have 10 seconds left. What do? What's your strategy now? Knowing your strengths, weaknesses, and the other partners that you know they're gonna have to press, you know they're gonna wanna win. So how are you gonna protect your lead? You gotta play defensively and have a great counterattack, right? So, you may be good at different things, but depending on where you are in your business and what the stats tell you and what the playing field looks like, if we relate it to a game, your strategy should be different. If you're a champion, right? You change your strategy in order to win. That's why it's important to keep numbers in your business. I'm really hitting this point home so you guys understand. And I'll finish with this. Here's the hard truth. It's hard to swallow, but it's true. The schools that do the best usually aren't the most talented. They're not. They're the ones who pay attention to the numbers. So let's go to work. If you need help with this, or if you want access to my spreadsheet, my template, please hit me up, let me know. I'd be happy to help. And I'll see you guys on the next video. I've got more great videos in store, so stay tuned. Take care.